Yes, here we are for the second week of Eagles Radio. Thanks for listening. And again, this Saturday was another doubleheader for BC Footy, and it was great to see the first ever game of the Delta Bay Hawks. So it was fantastic to see the young lads out there. Unfortunately, the Irish Harps ran away with quite a comfortable victory, and the Irish Harps actually had 35 scoring shots, which was a real impressive display by them. But the first game, again, what we are all interested in is to hear what the score was. So the Eagles ran away with quite a good win in the end. Eagles were 18 goals 10 to the West Coast Saints 3 goals 1. It was quite tight in the first quarter, but then after the first quarter, the Eagles got on top, and as I said, we're quite happy to get away with a nice win. It was a really nice day out in Langley, the Eagles' home ground. The Eagles love to play out there, and Colin Hilton, who lives out that way and I think has kicked a goal on every time he's played out there, again was happy to get another sausage roll. So it was fantastic for him and for the club as well. And also some other good players for the Eagles. Rowan Tilley finished with 6 goals. Had a day out really. Pete Cristoforo was his dangerous self up forward. Dane Bergman really did well, nice and hard in the middle there. Mike Wenigal did the same. Really got the boys started. And it was great to see 2 young fellas playing their first game for the season. Robin McDonald and Jim Ortell really had good games as well. Scott Gregory, it was great to see Scott play his first game for the Eagles and slotted in nicely to that back line. And to Chris Freeman, fantastic effort. Chris Freeman, the club legend, played his 50th game for the Eagles, and it was great for him, for the club to get a win on such a huge occasion for him. So what we might do, I did an interview earlier, we might go to that interview with Chris. And here we've got club legend and club president Chris Freeman. How are you, Chris?
Doing good, thanks, Matt.
Good. Now, congratulations on your game on Saturday. 50 games for the club. Fantastic effort. Well done.
Yep, it was good. 50 games is good anywhere you go, but to have a win was even better.
Yeah, a win. It was a really good win for the boys. And I know, the club's really putting their foot forward and going in the right direction. And you as president, being the man at the front, tell us about how the club is travelling more so off the field.
Off the field, we've got lots of things set for the year. We've got a ladies' night set, a couple of trips, Kelowna, Calgary. We got some good things planned for the boys. You just want to keep the boys interested all year and give them something that, for the guys from Australia, something to go home with, and the new Canadian guys, something that'll bring them back next year. So.
Absolutely, and I think most of the new guys to the club have really enjoyed getting involved in the club and making sure they're getting to everything, all the functions so far. And if you are listening out there, boys, there's nothing better than some of these trips ahead, going to Kelowna and Calgary and so forth. So as I mentioned, 50 games, fantastic, and it was great to see and very emotional to see you with your eldest daughter Ella in the circle after the game singing the song.
Yeah, you know what? She came out at the right time once we were singing that song. I'm waiting for us all to get that song and sing it properly once. We're all a bit mix and match, but a few more victories and I think the guys will have that song down pat. But it was great. I could see her from the corner of my eye, and then she ran over to me, and it was fantastic.
Fantastic. Good stuff. All right, mate. Well, we might just leave it there, but thanks for joining us today on Eagles Radio. And again, congratulations on your 50th game, and we look forward to talking to you again on Eagles Radio after your 100th.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, there he is, club legend Chris Freeman. So very privileged to get an interview with Chris. He's a hard man to get a word out of, unless he's had 6 VBs or he's given someone a hard time. So that was good that he could come here to Eagles Radio. We're very privileged. So we might just quickly move on before we finish today's Eagles Radio. Just to give you the AFL winners for this past weekend. The winners for the AFL back in Australia were St Kilda, Collingwood, Geelong, Sydney Carlton, Essendon, the Western Bulldogs, and the West Coast Eagles, which is one of the Burnaby Eagles sponsors. So it was good for the West Coast Eagles to get their first win of the year. Now, one thing I wanted to mention, we've actually got two guys leaving the club. One is Mick Emmett, who's been around from the start of the year. He's going back to Australia. Actually had probably the quickest debut of any Eagles player. He played the first game against the Cougars, came on for 10 seconds and came off with a blood rule and had to get 10 stitches. And it's a bit of a funny story. That same thing happened to him in the trial game earlier in the year as well. But Mick's been awesome around the clubs, basically come to every function, and the boys are really going to miss him around the club. So we thank you, Mick, for what you've done, and well, I'm sure the boys will keep in touch. And also the other person is Matt McDowell. Again, Matt came to us earlier in the year, and same as Mick, has been around the club and made a lot of good friends. And Matt's actually moving to Toronto for a career move, and the boys again will keep in touch with Matt, and hopefully Matt might be even able to join us on the footy trip at the end of the year. So thanks, guys. It's been fantastic to be able to coach you personally. Now, just to let you know, the next game will be April 18th. It's the Delta Bay Hawks home grounds. I'm not sure where that's going to be played as yet, but the Eagles are playing that day against the Irish Harps. The first time ever the Burnaby Eagles against the Irish Harps, so that should be a really, really tough hit out, and so we look forward to that. So just to remind everyone, get down to Eagles training, 6:30 every Thursday night at the Burnaby Lake Sporting Complex. And before I leave, I want to thank our major sponsor, Moose's Down Under, 830 West Pender in downtown Vancouver. If you go in there, make sure you see Karina, mention that you heard it on Eagles Radio, and Karina will look after you. So thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Can I just say one quick thing? Like, JC was still out of the contest. He got a little handball out. But you know what he did? You know what he did that was so important? The shepherd. The shepherd, like after the 5-star handball, the shepherd, Adam Cole, got the ball and kicked it long. I don't know if it resulted in a goal, but he's doing the 1%ers, right? That's what we